Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Program with Santier, and we're going to continue working on the task tracker, and specifically, there's a couple of things that I've discovered that I really want to do. So specifically, I'm going to add a little pipe here, and now it's possible to add stuff above this. It's a little awkward, but you basically add something and then you move it above it, if I'm remembering correctly, positionally. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to add a close, guess it's going to be C. I'm going to add exit. This is very important. Close right here is just simply going to hide this window, which is what we want it to do. And it's overriding there. Exit is going to actually exit. So let's just see if we can call close and have that work. I'm curious to see if that works or not. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I set up my settings last time. You can see that I now have it set to Dropbox, and I've filled in those things. Now, close does what we want. It hides it. Does exit? Yeah. See, exit just hides it as well. So I'm tired of doing that. So let's see. So the easy way of doing this is just application.exit. And let's see if this works. This is kind of aggressive, but if I click that exit, yeah, you can see that goes away. And you can see how I had a bunch of extras, and you can also see that OBS is recording. But you can see that I had a bajillion extra things. That's one of the things that'll happen. Your notify thing doesn't get cleared out until you like tab over a dead notify icon or a terminated notify icon, and then it clears it out. You'll run into that when you're testing stuff that has notify icons, that you'll get just a bunch of them. So I'm just gonna like hard tell it to exit when I do it this way, and that's not going to get closed here, or it's not going to get intercepted by this. Because it's like, if you remember, we have like application exit call. That's not getting caught by that, right? So we just want user closing. But that'll allow me to actually properly exit the program during testing, which is going to make things a little bit easier for me. Okay, so last time I made a bajillion controls because I'm going to need to control stuff. I'm going to come in here, and let's go ahead, because I've built this now. Let's see. Yep. Okay, here are my controls. So I have category view control. So let's just drop that in here. Let's go ahead and put this at 0, 0. Just as soon as I find location, 0, 0. And we're going to name this the category view control. Just nice and simple, folks. I like the word folks as a general person thing instead of like guys, because it's non-gendered. I don't know. Or at least I feel like it isn't. This is like random Santier thoughts. I mean, it's not terribly important, but okay. So schedule view control and search view control. Now, naming them is principally important because I might need to like do specific things to them. Notably, I might need to do, for example, add a thing that allows me to go to the main window and select a specific control under maybe search, maybe category view. I'm not sure how I'm going to set it up, but remember, notification icons can pop up with scheduled tasks, and I want to be able to pop those up and then click them and have it bring me to that task. So with that in mind, that's kind of the incentive there for setting things up that way. Now I wanted to come in here and go on my tabs. So main tab dot resize. And right here, I just want to go category view control dot size equals main tab dot client size, and this is just going to cause things to become properly resized. Actually, it would be prudent of me to add these up here before I kind of set the size of things. I believe due date tab is what I call the. I modified some terminology as I made stuff. So this is going to be the schedule view control. Taking some moment to not talk. Where's out your voice? Talking a lot. And the thing is, like, I have long recording sessions. So this is actually episode 5. I'm doing it on the same day that I recorded episode 1. Just some behind the scenes, CNTR, whatever. Facts while I'm doing mundane programming tasks. Okay, so search view control dot size equals search tab dot client size. But that just means because I want to get these things done so I can use them. But that just means I do a lot of talking in one day, and that kind of wears out the voice a little bit. For those who are curious, it's 4:45 p.m. As you can tell by the clock in the lower right-hand corner of the window that just popped up when I moved my mouse down to the tab. I actually have a double height taskbar because I don't like having windows combined into groups. And if I have too many windows open, which has happened on occasion, I've gotten better about it, but it has happened on occasion where I have like multiple things open. I want the rows so that way I can identify what things are instead of everything getting horribly clumped up. That is a complete tangent and unrelated to anything whatsoever. Okay, so I've gotten the resizing stuff thrown in there, which is important, so that way we can see things. So for now, I'm done with the main window. So I'm going to go ahead and close the main window. Search view control, I'm not going to worry about just yet. Categories, I'm going to need to, but let's see. So schedule view control, I can work with. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I know. So the message that just popped up that you probably didn't see is it says you need to rebuild your project before changes to the control show up and where you've placed it. It's not relevant to me at the moment, but yes, it's absolutely that I knew that was the case. So with the schedule view control, whatever I'm calling it, one of the things that's important to know about how I want to handle this is I'm basically I'm just going to want to create a list of like what's coming next and like where or when. So, question is, how do I want to set that up? There's different ways that I can kind of do this. Let's see. So some features that I know that I'm going to want to have to this is to refresh the list, which is going to be important. Maybe that'll happen automatically on a timer tick. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how I want to do that. But right now, this is not important because what's important is the category view. The reason the category view, and you'll see the rebuild message, error list, I think. Yeah, you must rebuild your project for changes to this show up in any open designers. So that's just like you need to build it before you can kind of do stuff with it. So what I want to do with this is I want to bump the microphone so people get all sorts of crazy noise, apparently. I want to make Okay, I want a split container. So the way that this fellow works is you put something over here, you put something over here, and it allows people to kind of resize it. Right-click, select split container. So we're just going to call it split container because that's what it is. Where is the, I want it to be vertical. Dock. Okay, so yeah, I do want it to fill the thing, so that's good. Splitter width, splitter increment. Okay, that's fine. Is it under border style? Yeah. Okay, so I want it to be 3D because so there's single, which looks like this, and there's 3D, which looks like this. I want it to be the 3D one, primarily because I feel that it is more visible. I don't know. I like how it looks better. That's really the reason. And I have now, unfortunately, finished the last of the water in my water glass, so I'll need to get one after this, or refill my water cups after this episode. Which is something I should have done after the last episode, but I didn't, and now I am sad. I want is it a tree view? Yes, I want a tree view. Okay, so what this is, you'll find out. You'll see. You'll see what it is. It's actually, I could show you an example really quickly of what it is, but I'll just describe it. It is a way of displaying nodes. That's what it is. So by default, we won't have. This is going to be category list. So what's useful about these guys is they really are great for when you have I don't like the. Can I change the name of this thing? Not really. Okay. Category list dot size equal container dot panel one dot client size. They here. Let's just. This is my music player. This right here is a list of views, so you can see the way that it displays stuff is with these nodes, right? And so you can go just click on stuff and it brings up a list. This is what we're going to be using, and you can see I just hit it again. Maximize on that makes it hide because that's what I wanted it to do. So that's what we're going to use for this. You can nest it kind of indefinitely-ish, and that's going to be how I'm going to do stuff with navigating categories. And I want to add split panel one dot resize this line again. So I want that thing to fill. That is not at all. Okay, that got moved way over. I want it to fill this side of the container. So panel 2. So the question that I have now is, how do I want to handle categories? And what I think I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to make a control specifically for that purpose. Okay. So the next question is, how do I want to handle tasks? I probably am just going to make a control for tasks. Do I want to orient tasks horizontally or vertically? This is an interesting question. I can position tasks where they are, you scroll left to right to get to the next task. Or I could arrange tasks such that they are arranged horizontally, or so that way you scroll vertically to kind of see the new information. I think what I'm going to have to do is figure out how I want to set up task control, the control for viewing a task, and kind of work from there. So I think I like the idea of vertically scrolling tasks better. I think I like that better. Yeah. Okay. It's it's those sort of considerations that you need to figure out. I'm gonna go ahead and add a new user control, and it's going to be a category control. Now, what we're going to see with this guy right here, it's not going to actually be this size when I do stuff with it. What we're going to see right here is the reason why I'm doing this, by the way, is it's locality of stuff. So auto scroll true. Actually, let's set auto scroll to false. Let's go to our toolbox, and where do we have? Yeah, I'm probably going to want to use something like this for the actual controls. But what I want here is it under components? I want a vertical scroll bar, is what I'm saying. I'm not sure where it sticks it, because let me tell you, the number of times I want a vertical scroll bar is very small. I'm just going to go to the all list. Vertical scroll bar. You get a vertical scroll bar. Let's close this gigantic thing. Okay, so the reason why I want a vertical scroll bar, rather than having it automatically make a vertical scroll bar, right, please, thank you. That's where we want our vertical scroll bar. Is it's oh man, and I can move it by. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to 1 by default. So what I'm going to basically do is kind of have this scroll stuff to the top, if that makes sense. And controlling it myself is going to allow me to have more finesse. Wow, no border style. Okay. But controlling it myself is going to allow me to have more finesse over how it works, because I often have problems with sort of the automatic scroll bars not behaving in a way that entirely makes me happy. Okay, so this is going to need a list of controls. So I'm going to add another user control, because this is nothing but, if not the project full of user controls. And this one's going to be called category view task control. Okay, so this guy is going to be very complicated, and I'm going to figure out how it works later. You'll notice, by the way, that these have the .category view appended to them. I warned that would happen. It's not a problem for these controls, but if I added a new class, it would quickly get very annoying. But it's just important to remember that it will do that. So if I want to find a category control like this, I would do task tracker dot, or I just do category view dot to get to it. Namespaces are useful for organizing your code, but they are also very annoying for making you have to remember how your code is organized, if that makes sense. So I'm going to want to come in here, and I'm going to want to make a list of category view task controls called task controls. The reason why I'm going to want to do this is on resize, I'm going to want to go through all of the task controls and resize them. So for each category, view task control, task in task controls. Whoa, what is my crazy bracket madness? Okay. So what we're just going to do is we're going to set this dot width. We're not going to worry about the height. And I'm going to figure out what I want the height of them to be later. But what this is probably going to actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come into here and I'm going to add a function. Public, yeah, okay, so this is going to be kind of a complicated mess. But what this is going to do is this is going to set width, void set width, int width. Okay, so I'm going to actually want to come in here and I'm going to want to go task.setWidth. And let's just pre-calculate that. Int width equals stuff. We're going to set the width here. And this is going to equal client size.width minus vertical scroll bar dot width minus 6. Padding of 3 on each side. And then I'm going to want an int y equals task controls 0 dot top. I'm going to just set it actually to 3 and then go if task controls dot count is greater than 0, then do this. Of setting y equal to that. The reason for this is really simple. I want the resize to basically not do anything if there are no tasks, but this is grabbing the task list. But if there are no tasks, I don't want it to crash on resize because it's like, yo, boss, you told me to get a thing that doesn't exist, which is what would happen when I do this if there are no tasks. So that's bad. So I want to come in here and go task dot top equals y, and then set the width, and then y equals task dot task dot bottom. Let's see. I guess it doesn't pixels. Bottom edge of the control and the top edge. I don't know why plus task dot. Okay, so you know, let's just do it this way. Task dot height plus 3. I like a padding of 3. It's just, yeah, whatever. So the idea here is that this particular function may adjust the height if it needs more height, to kind of get enough area. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but you know, we're trying something. So the idea here is as this gets resized, it will kind of resize and reposition these. I should have. How do I want to handle that, actually? I might need to take a double pass. Okay, I'm just going to make a note here. May need to take a double pass so that the control at currently selected by the scroll bar. What is a scroll bar? Scroll bar stays at top of the screen. Okay, so that might be something that I do. Okay, so right now, I'm not going to worry about making that thing work. I'm really not going to worry about making one of these guys work, because that's a lot of stuff that I need to get to. That's probably going to be a future thing that I'm going to get to soon, but right now I want to... why? Okay. Build. Remember... Whoa! Now all the things show up. Okay, so category control goes over here. I want to put this fine feller at 0, 0. Go into our code for this guy. And, whoop, I need to name this. Okay, so category control dot size equals split container dot panel who dot client size. Just making sure that that's the size we want it to be, and split container dot panel 2 dot resize needs this line of code. Okay, so what we should have right now, if I were to run this guy and wait for it to bring up the thing, you'll notice it's right here. The last droplet of water, delicious. Here we go. Okay, so now we have this. We can resize this, and it will resize things. We can resize this, and it will resize the control when we let go, which is important because it won't waste a bunch of time with the in-betweens, and these guys don't have anything on them because we don't have any controls there. So what we're going to want to do next is add the ability to add a category, which sounds superb. So let's make that dialogue. Let's go ahead and exit that out. Okay, so what things do I not need? I don't need that. I don't need the category control right now. I'm just closing stuff up because it's a mess. I don't need those two things, and I don't need program, which I'll be using later. Okay, I need main window. So let's do new, and let's drag new up there. Okay, so now new is above, and task. Task is going to be a little bit more complicated. Actually, both task and category are going to need a little bit more. Category. Okay, so new task is probably going to be control N, I'm guessing, because that would be the default new. I don't want new category to be control C because that would be obnoxious. Actually, I probably don't need a specific thing for that because the frequency in which you're going to do it does not necessitate a E, but I could probably go into here and add control shift N, just because why not? Okay, so new task and new category. This is going to... okay, so this is actually going to be a fairly complicated task. So we're going to end on a cliffhanger where I tease you and say, next time, we'll add categories. Yeah. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to make my category view control manipulate them the way that I want to. This is going to become particularly complicated over here, actually, dealing with this guy. But that will be for next time. For this time, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.